November 11th is an important holiday throughout the world. In the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, an armistice was signed, marking the formal end of hostilities in the First World War. This date is called Armistice Day in Belgium and France, and Remembrance Day in Canada and the United Kingdom. Here in America, it's known as Veterans Day. And on this warm Friday morning, O'Fallon citizens and veterans came together at the Veterans Memorial Walk to celebrate the service of all of our military veterans. After a posting of the colors, speakers from all walks of life came forward to talk, sometimes emotionally, about the service of our veterans and our duty to honor their sacrifices.
Americans have fought on every continent in the name of liberty, from the deserts of northern Africa and the Mideast to the freezing mountains of Korea, from the jungles of Southeast Asia to the Pacific Theater in Germany, France, and Italy. American soldiers have held the line to keep our country free of domination by outside forces, and that remains true today.
Our veterans, while serving our country, had instilled in them core values, principles, and morals, and values of honor, courage, and commitment. Those core values seemed second nature because we knew that America, as its armed forces, also stood on the side of right and decency. We learned that the meaning of the teamwork and the necessity of depending on each other. For we all knew that there would come a time when that discipline, that trust, that dependence on our fellow soldiers would mean the difference between life and death.
The day that you are content with sitting and watching America's problems pass you by is the day that you have stopped doing your responsibility to America. We, as the citizens of this great nation, have a duty to contribute to the nation that others have laid down their lives for. We need to respect the fact that Americans have fought and died for these rights, and we need to contribute to our country in respect for them. Children have grown up without parents, wives and husbands lost. Friends have lied motionless in the battlefield. We've heard this several times, but sometimes it just becomes words until we hear witness accounts.
We place in each other's hands our very lives dependent on each other. We fought for freedom and traveled to many distant shores, not to fight for peace, but to fight for freedom, to free the people of countries from their oppressors. For there is no peace without freedom.
By most counts, we have 18.8 million military veterans in the U.S. and close to 500,000 living here in the state of Missouri. We are beholden to each of them for our democracy, our way of life, and our personal and legal freedoms. On behalf of our community and the O'Fallon City Council, thank you all for joining us in honoring our veterans for their service and their sacrifice.
Student Crowner Beck closed out the ceremony with a beautiful rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America.
The VFW Post 5077 laid a ceremonial wreath at the memorial. An American Legion Post 388 performed a rifle salute. It's fitting that so many organizations and people played a part in the ceremony at the Veterans Memorial Walk, which is dedicated to every branch of the United States military and every member of the armed forces to serve our country. And ceremonies like this help show our veterans that our community cares about their service.
I think that we forget how many people here have served our country, so when we get together and talk about these things, it really puts things into perspective and shows how many people we have to be thankful for.
We're not looking for recognition, but to honor us, it makes us feel better. Anytime someone comes up to me and says, "Thank you for your service," it almost brings me to tears.
O'Fallon's Veterans Memorial Walk is a monument like no other, and our Veterans Day ceremony is an important display of our civic pride and support for our armed forces. But as you've heard, you don't need a special event to thank a veteran for their service. Sometimes a quiet thank you can be even more meaningful.